episode of Weber State Weekly. It's a homecoming episode of Weber State Weekly. And so we're coming to you to talk a little bit about homecoming week and the Make Ogden Purple campaign. If you remember last season, Wildcats, we talked with Amir Jackson, who was on the Alumni Association board, who sort of dreamt up this idea that Ogden maybe didn't have the best support for Weber State and that we should build some stuff in the community to kind of give people an opportunity to show support for Weber State however they could. So now here we are a year on, and we're excited to chat with Danielle Collier. She is a current development director at Weber State, one of my former jobs, so shout out development office. Love you guys up there. And she's deeply involved with the Make Ogden Purple program this week. So we thought, what better person to chat with than Danielle Collier about Make Ogden Purple this year, homecoming week, and all the good things that have happened. So Danielle Collier, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us on Weber State Weekly.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. It's a crazy week. Lots going on. So it's a good time to chat.
Yeah. And we're excited to chat because, I've made no bones about it. Homecoming week is one of my favorite weeks up on campus. Last year, before we moved to Nashville, I made sure that we stuck around just long enough to get the homecoming game before we went to Nashville the next day. And obviously, things didn't go the way we wanted. If you remember, Wildcats, it was a slog against the Bobcats on a Friday night on ESPN. But homecoming week was had just the same. So, Danielle, let's talk a little bit about this year. Obviously, some things have already happened. We're sitting here on Tuesday. But there's plenty more to be happening, and of course, all leading up to the big game on Saturday against Eastern Washington. So, talk to us a little bit about what you all have going on this year, and let's kind of go through some of it.
That's a hefty question because there is a lot, and I think that is a great example of the growth that we've had over the past year. People are excited about it, and people are getting involved, and that's what we want. We want it to feel very natural. We want people, to get involved how they feel fits them and their lifestyle, whether it's wearing a purple t-shirt. We have purple light bulbs that Weber State Downtown's been giving out so people can light their porches purple, which I think is such a fun idea.
We had buy one. I should do that.
Right? They're giving them away. Oh yeah, I guess you're in Nashville. So.
Everybody in my neighborhood is going to be like, what's up with this? But like, don't worry, guys.
Purple lights. Well, even the Ogden City building is lit up purple, and the Ogden sign is lit up purple. And it's so cool to see. Yeah. And we have, like Facebook, social medias are starting. Everyone's changing their profile pictures. Even Ogden City Council changed their profile picture.
Today. Shout out to our sideline for doing that
one. I have to say before we go on, if you're not already following Make Ogden Purple on Instagram, please do so, because that's where we're sharing all the cool stuff that you're doing to get involved in the initiative. So that's been super fun. This past weekend, we had the coolest event. If you haven't heard about it from last year, the Purple Paw Parade was something that they did last year, and they had over 160 people participate. It was super grassroots. They weren't expecting anything crazy, and then people just loved it because there was nothing like that. I'm a cat person. My cat's name is Scout. He unfortunately could not attend, but I still loved it. It was super fun just to go and walk and enjoy the energy and the love for Weber. The cute little pup cups that they had. This year was special because it went so good last year that Abby Monroe, who has been extremely important in this entire initiative, she has really taken it and ran with it. She's very passionate about it. Her and Amber from the Alumni Services team did the work to make a collaboration with Weber State Downtown store, which felt like a very natural collaboration to make because they're the ones that have the presence downtown, right? And the Weber State Downtown store, we have Tyler and Ash, have been so incredible to work with, and they were so excited about it. They have signs posted everywhere. They have banners. They've got the purple light bulbs. They have 4 different Make Ogden Purple shirts that they're selling. And then, of course, Daily Rise, big fan of Daily Rise. They were involved, and they did pup cups, and they had crepes and coffee, and just a lot of Weber love. And it was a fun event. We had, again, over 150 registered. So looking forward to see what next year brings. If it just keeps growing, that'll be fun. A lot of the local coffee shops now, not just Daily Rise, we've got tons of connections with all the different local coffee shops. I expect if you go to any of them, they'll probably have Make Ogden Purple sleeves at this point for the coffee for this week, which is really fun. Because, we get the energy from the coffee, so we have to have it branded, right?
Yeah, I love that idea, man.
Yeah.
But you're going to, and you don't necessarily expect it unless you're going there specifically because you want that sleeve. That's a thing that I would do. But you go in, they hand you your coffee or your hot chocolate or your tea, and it's like, oh hey, there's a little Wildcat love on
There's
my
Make
cup.
Purple, right? Yeah.
Love it.
They had a paint party and they painted the huge Weber State Wildcat down 25th Street. So it's over in the block nearest Washington. So that's on the road for homecoming week. You know, Union Station, Nurture the Creative Mind is also in that space with Amir. That's all lit up purple. The Intermountain McKay-D Hospital is lit up purple.
Oh,
Um, I said, you know, about the different signs. Dumpke Art Plaza, the new plaza by the Monarch is purple. It's just kind of crazy to go around and see. They have tons of Weber State flags around the city council, like the city, I guess the Ogden City building and the municipal gardens now. Even little things like the Ogden High Tigerettes. Abby's daughter is an amazing dancer. She's on that team, and they all wore purple and did a little Make Ogden Purple practice where they
nice.
where they did a cheer, and it was so cute to see. And Orange Theory and Ogden's doing a Weber State Day, Wear Purple Day. Like there's so many different ways for individuals and businesses and teams to just kind of get involved and have a fun themed activity or some kind of component, which is cool to see. So that's why you should follow the Instagram account and let us know what you're doing, because it's really fun to see what everyone's doing.
yeah, and we should also point out that folks that are, if you follow the Instagram account, it's not just homecoming week. There are things that go on throughout the year. Make Ogden Purple is not just a 1 week thing a year. The idea, folks, is to build the culture and the love for Weber State within Ogden so that Ogden truly starts to feel like a college town again. Because if you know the history of the university, there was a time where Weber State University was right on 25th Street, right downtown. And when they moved to Upper Campus, that obviously created a little bit of a disconnect. If you talk to folks who were going to school in the 50s and 60s, you'll hear a little bit about Upper and Lower Campus. But yeah, so a little bit of effort now to kind of connect the two, connect downtown back with Weber State. And man, I'd love to hear about, especially all that light stuff. I want to see
Yeah,
that.
and like you said, homecoming week really is just a kickoff. It just gives that extra push, but it's a year-round initiative. And I have to give a shout out again. I know you interviewed him last year, but Amir Jackson really was the visionary for this. And the whole goal is to just kind of, inspire community pride and community involvement with Weber State. And I think that's what we're seeing happening now. So I'm excited to see it keep growing. And I think that the benefits are pretty obvious. So
yeah, we appreciated Amir last year talking with us a little bit about it. And one of the most impactful things that he said was he pointed to Bills Mafia. If you're a fan of the NFL and you've been watching football, Bills Mafia is a thing that Bills fans, the Buffalo Bills put together. It's a thing that they started. And then eventually, the team took it on, and now it's their hashtag on social media. Also, shout out to our guy, Taron Johnson, who's playing for the Bills now. But it's just a thing that starts with the fans and kind of grows. And so, we took that same idea with hashtag Dub State, which is an idea that we came up with to say, hey, man, if fans are the ones that are going to make the culture, then let's make some culture. So we've done that with a few other things. Hashtag A State, if you follow volleyball, which we'll be talking to some folks about volleyball tonight, and a big win against Idaho State, which we haven't said in a while on Friday night, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, we loved that conversation with Amir because he really sort of crystallized the idea that it has to come from the fans. Like, if you really want to see more of this purple around town, then you have to be a part of the folks that are wearing purple and encouraging others to do so as well.
absolutely. And I would say this homecoming game on Saturday should be a pretty good one, considering are we still 4-0? We're 4-0, right?
We're 4-0.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
Good little start.
Yeah. Eastern coming to town. Eastern came to Ogden last in the 2018 season, I believe. That was the homecoming game. We've played them twice now in Cheney since. And so if you all remember the game against the Eagles last season up in Cheney, Wildcats are a little bit on the ropes, weren't sure about their playoff prospects. And then a big win against Eastern, thanks to the legs of Chris Jackson, the battering ram. Just absolutely ran all over the Eagles last year. And so we'll hope to see kind of how things shake out at Stewart Stadium on Saturday. But Danielle, let's talk a little bit about what's going on this week before we get to Saturday. So obviously you all got to go and light the W, which is one of my favorite traditions last night, but there's plenty more going on this week.
Yes, absolutely. So you'll see the lighted W, obviously, every night this week. It's beautiful. It's always a fun tradition. I love that they still do that. And like I said, the coffee sleeves at local coffee shops, all of the buildings lit up, which just super fun to see. And we have giveaways all throughout the week at Weber State downtown. I'm trying to think. I think we went over most of the stuff is still ongoing, so it should be a good week leading up to the game.
Yeah, obviously, like we said, Wildcat fans, I mean, if you are just out and about this week, make sure to wear your purple all week, man, because it's homecoming week, all leading up to Saturday's big game against Eastern Washington. And so we always encourage folks to get out there and tailgate. So make sure you're out there early to tailgate. I believe the game is at 6 o'clock. I have to double check that, but it'll be the last game as well of the season. So this will be the last time the lights are on for the Wildcats, unless they get into the playoffs and, things happen. We've seen night games in the playoffs in recent memory. But yeah, let me double check and make sure I'm not leading Wildcat fans astray and telling them 6 when really it's a different time. But looking forward to
It's
this
6,
match.
it's 6 p.m. Mm-hmm.
Great. 6 p.m. But on top of that, show up early because there's going to be a fan fest out front.
Yep.
I mean, normally there's a fan fest north of the stadium, but there's going to be some amplified activities going on up by the stadium. Of course, like we said, get up there and tailgate, plenty to do up there, and then get your tickets and show up. I think this will probably be a pretty well attended. Attendance has been good this season.
It has, and our student section is killing it. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive.
The destruction is coming back. We've talked a little bit about maybe we need to get a sign contest going where Weber State Weekly, you tag us on social media with the best sign in the stadium, and we'll give away some prizes. So we've talked about that. Maybe we need to name some prizes because, man, guys, we love signs. We love the signs. We also did the big heads last season. I don't know if you ever saw those in the D. We printed some of those. So we're all about bringing the culture to the arena and to Stewart Stadium. So, Danielle, of course, we've talked all about Make Ogden Purple. We've talked about homecoming week and all the good things that are going to be going on there. Is there a place where folks can find out more aside from the social media campaign? Is there a website? Is it just on Facebook? In addition to Instagram, where else can they go to get info?
So they can go to Weber State Downtown is a great resource for different things happening. They can go to the Weber State University alumni page. That's kind of where the Make Ogden Purple stuff is held. And then, the Instagram account. And there's also a Facebook for alumni. So you don't have to be an alumni to be involved in those pages, or just any community members, anybody that loves Weber is welcome.
Yeah. Obviously, I believe that you should join the Alumni Association, though, because not only do those monies go to scholarships for students, you get a number of perks that go with that. So check out the Alumni Association's website and become a member, folks. You get a couple of free tickets every year, along with a bunch of really cool perks. Plus, get on their mailing list and find out what's going on. But Danielle, we've talked about Weber State homecoming week. We talked about Make Ogden Purple, but like we said at the top, we are a former development director, current development director. And so I couldn't leave this interview without giving you an opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the fundraising initiatives you all have going on at the development office.
Absolutely. So my role in the development office is I do Moist College of Education and Academic Affairs. So obviously I'm slightly biased and I know a lot more about those. But Big W initiatives, there's lots of ways to give back. If you go to our development page on the Weber State University site, you can go through and see what areas of you find most interesting to yourself, which ones you resonate with most, and you can find out some more information and donate that way. That's kind of like Big W, because we have such a huge team here, so many different awesome opportunities to get involved in student scholarships, student emergency funds. We've got like the Weber Cares Pantry that has just been moved into the library, which is amazing. So I could go on for hours, but yeah, check it out and see what resonates with you most. I think for everybody, their philanthropy is different depending on what they loved about Weber and what they find most interesting. So.
Yeah, like Danielle said, folks, lots and lots of different things to give to on campus. You don't just have to give to athletics, although you can. There are lots of initiatives to give through up at athletics because, we talk about athletics a lot on this podcast, but the main function of the university is to teach students. And so there are lots of opportunities to give. You could do it like I do. I give every single paycheck. You could just set up an automatic donation and it goes to the account of your choice. For me personally, Friends Library. Shout out to my Stewart Library peeps. Love you guys. But there are lots and lots of things, like Danielle said, that you could get involved in and become philanthropic and give to. It has a huge impact on the students. So talk to the development directors if you want to set something up, or if you got something bigger you planned that maybe you want to make us a more sizable gift. The development director's there to help you, folks.
Absolutely. Thanks for the plug.
Oh man, as a former development director, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Well, Danielle, before we wrap up, I wanted to give you an opportunity. Is there anything else about Make Ogden Purple, Homecoming Week, development initiatives that we haven't touched on that you want to just say right before we wrap up here?
No, I would just, reiterate that it doesn't matter if you're an alumni or if you're, an expat, whatever brought you here. Weber State is such a big part of Ogden, and each of you are such a big part of Ogden. So we'd love for you to get involved, whether that's changing your Facebook or your Instagram profile picture, or if it's, wearing your purple, we're doing Wear Purple Fridays, right? Or WeareWeber Fridays, which
Yes.
I'm sure you miss.
I still do it in Tennessee. Everybody in my office knows, man. They know. Fridays we wear purple.
I guess this week is crazy because there's so many ways to get involved with lighting your porch purple, going down to the downtown store, seeing what they have available to put out, coming to the homecoming game, sharing on social. These are all things for this week, but just get involved in the initiative at large, and just help promote Weber and help stay connected. Follow all of the Weber State accounts. There's so many.
So many.
So just follow the ones you're interested in, and find what you feel connects you to Weber State, and then keep track on that. And if it's not athletics, let it be something else,
Yeah, that happens. Probably not a lot of folks on this show that don't like athletics. But obviously the ones that do, they know that that's the thing that we care about. But Danielle Collier, I want to thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to chat with us about Make Ogden Purple, #Make Ogden Purple, folks. So if you're going to do anything and you're going to post it on social media, make sure to tag Make Ogden Purple or use the hashtag Make Ogden Purple so they can find those things and they can put them on their channels as well.
Wonderful.
Well, Danielle, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this one up, and I'll wrap it up like we always do, man, in this little short interview. I say it, Weber State, Great.